Beneath Afghanistan's eastern hills, the earth is cracking, not just under centuries of tectonic pressure, but under the weight of human vulnerability. On August 31st, 2025, a magnitude 6.0 earthquake struck Kunar province, collapsing homes made of mud and stone and killing over 2,200 people, shrinking entire villages into rubble. Then on September 5th, a third 6.2 magnitude quake, accompanied by powerful aftershocks, surged through the same hard-hit region, shattering rescue efforts, collapsing makeshift shelters, and spreading fear where survival had barely begun. Remote mountain roads lie buried under landslides or washed away by rain. That isolation has turned relief into a desperate struggle, as the International Rescue Committee and Save the Children fight to bring supplies to communities no vehicle can reach. But hope has been fragile. Supplies trickle in slower than the needs multiply. And for every truck that reaches a village, there are dozens more left waiting. Families survive on scraps, children drink from streams turned muddy by landslides, and the race against time grows more desperate with each aftershock. But the question that's still looming in the dust is, if every few years the earth can erase entire communities, what does safety really mean in a land where the ground itself cannot be trusted? Today we will trace the unfolding disaster, the earthquakes, the collapse, the resettlement, or the lack of it, and leave you asking, when the ground crumbles, what safety remains? To understand why Afghanistan shakes so violently, we must begin with the land itself. Afghanistan's mountains are breathtaking, vast, jagged ranges that scrape the sky and shape the nation's identity. But beneath all that beauty lies a hidden truth. The same forces that raised these peaks also fractured the earth beneath them, leaving the country perched on one of the world's most dangerous fault lines. The collision of the Indian Plate and the Eurasian Plate has fractured the land into a web of faults, most notably the Chaman Fault System and related strike-slip structures in the east. These shifting seams have produced devastating earthquakes for centuries, and 2025 has added another grim chapter. On August 31st at 2:10 p.m. local time, a magnitude 6.0 earthquake struck Nangarhar province, southeastern Afghanistan. The shallow depth amplified shaking, toppling clay brick homes and triggering landslides that buried roads. At least 2,200 people were killed in that first quake, with thousands more displaced. Just 5 days later, survivors were still searching through ruins when disaster struck again. On September 5th, a magnitude 6.2 quake rattled the same region, followed by powerful aftershocks. And just like that, entire neighborhoods that had clung to life collapsed in seconds. Rescue teams reported that the makeshift tents, erected after the August 31st quake, were shredded by falling debris and secondary slides. In some districts, 90% of people's homes were tragically destroyed. Seismologists note that aftershock patterns in Afghanistan are notoriously brutal. Shallow strike-slip and thrust faults produce long sequences, often stretching for weeks. The 2025 events are part of this pattern, showing how one rupture transfers stress onto neighboring faults, keeping the ground unstable and residents terrified. Afghanistan's earthquake tragedy is not new. From the 1998 Takhar quake that killed over 4,000 people to the 2022 Paktika disaster that claimed more than 1,000 lives, the pattern repeats. Shallow tremors, fragile homes, mass casualties, and underfunded recovery. The 2025 double strikes in Nangarhar are part of this chain, reinforcing a grim reality. Every few years, the earth reminds Afghanistan of its vulnerability, and every time, recovery starts from near zero. And yet, each new disaster feels heavier than the last, proof that in a land already fractured by mountains, politics, and war, the earth itself is the most merciless rival. In Afghanistan, earthquakes are never just geological, they are humanitarian catastrophes. When the ground heaves, it is the poorest, most isolated, and most vulnerable citizens who bear the full brunt. The quakes struck in southeastern Afghanistan's mountainous Nangarhar and Kunar provinces, where most homes are built from sun-dried mud bricks. When they fell, they did not splinter like wood or crack like concrete. They disintegrated into choking clouds of dust, entombing families inside. Roads carved into steep valleys were buried by landslides, leaving rescuers stranded on the wrong side of collapsed hillsides. Those who survived faced exposure, families crowded into makeshift tents or slept in the open, even as aftershocks ripped through the night. Food, clean water, and medicine quickly ran out. From one village to another,